You are listening to Power Marketing with Kevin Lee. Here's Kevin.
I did find actually that within the last 2 years, companies that probably should have started sort of rethinking their marketing and media plans, and businesses as a whole, right? The catalyst for finally waking them up was the pandemic, right? Because it was sort of, the media and marketing plans for years would be sort of, pardon the arcane language, but Xeroxed year after year, right? So there'd be little tweaks. You'd like move a little budget here, move a little budget there. And digital started to eat into that. But again, it looked every year, the plan didn't look all that different. And then all of a sudden, with the pandemic hitting, you knew your customers weren't in the same place. You knew they weren't behaving the same. You knew they had different expectations. So you couldn't get away with Xeroxing last year's marketing plan anymore. You had to get, wipe the slate clean and start with a clean whiteboard. And for us, that was sort of a tailwind we didn't expect. Like we thought, it's going to take a while for everything to recover. But so many companies had their wake up calls, right, at that period of time. And so we had a tough time staffing up to deal with the number of leads that we were getting, and now we're almost caught up. But I don't know if you saw that as well. With From, did you guys see sort of a sudden acceleration in sort of a desire to remake the businesses?
Remake is the exact word. Remarket, not so much, right? So I already know my next 3 quarters, possibly 10 quarters, are going to be terrible, right, as a business. So now I can sort of finally figure out what are those plumbing projects that I couldn't do at times of peak demand because I was afraid I was going to blow a quarter if I implemented something wrong. So putting in CRM, putting in, sort of new ways of sort of servicing the customer, building a new website, robotic process automation, sort of getting, some level of AI, in so that I could start to do stuff automatically and move people from, sort of intensely manual, repetitious jobs onto stuff that has higher value. If I'm going to pay them and I want them to stay in the business because there's organizational knowledge I need to protect, now's the time for me to figure out other places to put them and invest in the core of the business. So a lot of digital transformation was, that stuff that I want to do has been on my board for the last, 2 years, but it's expensive and it's going to take a long time and it's risky. If I have no risk, right? If I'm not going to get punished by the street for missing a quarter, this is the time to do that. So I think a lot of that is what we've been called to do. Like, how can I rethink my business? What are the ways that I can sort of optimize my website, optimize the way I talk to my customer, like deep, sort of meaningful, gritty, scary projects from a company's point of view were what we were asked to do because they had the time to do it. I mean, if you look at travel, right, where the demand just stopped, now I can finally fix issues. Like if you're a business travel agency, you can finally fix all of the terrible things that you have going on in your back end, right? I mean, and there's like 20-year-old technology that you use and, Excel reports that you're running your business on, and these are not the small businesses. These are, American Express Global Travel. Now I can finally sort of optimize all that stuff because, it's very different when I've got 50, people traveling, from a big global business. If I have 300 people traveling or 3,000 people traveling, I can't afford to make a mistake. I can't make it up, with somebody sort of just watching the pixels manually. Then now you could. So you could sort of dig in and fix those things. So we did a lot of remaking. It's exactly the way I would think about it.
Kevin Lee's Power Marketing is available on all your favorite podcast networks. Kevin loves helping businesses excel at marketing. Having marketing challenges? Just like Santa in the Miracle on 34th Street, if Kevin can't help you, he'll know someone who can. Find him on LinkedIn, subscribe, or follow.